Hi everyone, Mrs. Gust here. I want to talk to you today about your first book that we're going to be working on in math together called Prime Time. We are working with the Connected Math series, as you'll see on the screen, and we'll be working with 7 to 8 different books this school year. These are books that we're not going to write in. They are accessible online with our remote learning. And when we work in the classroom, we will have a physical book, as you can see behind me, that I will give you that you can keep in your binder. So, one of the things that I want to tell you about your Primetime book is that it's the same as with any book that you'll be working with this year. In the very beginning, you will find that you have some state standards that are listed for you, as well as an overview of the content that you'll be learning in this book. And you can find those on pages 4 and 5. There's an overview for prime time that tells you that we will be working with factors, multiples, least common factor, greatest common factor, least common multiple, greatest common multiple. Some of those things I listed may not even be actual things. I'm going to test your knowledge on those, and we'll talk about those. We will be talking about prime factorization and the distributive property. So some of those things may sound familiar to you from elementary school, so we'll review them. Make sure you know them before we move on to our next book. Also, I want to go to our table of contents here, and I want to pull up the very first part of our book here, which if you look in the table of contents, we don't have units or chapters. They're actually called investigations. So if I'm looking here at our first investigation, and you'll find this on page 9, it's asking you some questions on background knowledge that you may have about factors. And this is what our first day of math is going to look like. And we are going to actually play a game called the factor game, which you'll find on the next page. So I want to point out to you when it says investigation 1 here, that that's kind of like our chapter 1 or unit 1. And then inside investigation 1, we have 4 different sections. So we usually call those problems. So we have investigation 1, problem 1, investigation 1, problem 2, and we usually just say 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So this is 1.1, and you can see that it is going over what we're going to be talking about with factors and proper factors. And then at the very bottom of the page, which I think is pretty cool, again, it lists the Common Core standards that we're going to be talking about for that investigation. Also, in the very back of your book, you do have a glossary. Something that's very different about your book that may be extremely different from what you did in elementary school is this book is not a resource. And what I mean by that is if you're looking for a book that tells you how to do a problem, this book is not what you're looking for. This book is a guide. It gives you some vocab and some direction, but we're going to talk a lot this year about you being the problem solver. So this book does not give you a step-by-step guide on how to solve problems. If moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, or uncles are asking you to see your book because they want to see how to do the problem, this book is not going to help them do that. You are going to have to help them do that. Okay? And if you have any questions throughout this year, I will be here to help. You can always email me at hgust@sylvaniaschools.org. Thank you. I look forward to a fun-filled year with you. See ya. If I can get the video to stop. You'll see a lot of that this year. That's my biggest challenge with Screencastify. All right, I got it.